Hello, everyone. You're listening to Pink, Nia, and Nicole on the Real Out Loud podcast. Join us as we discuss how to survive when we find ourselves reeling from life's difficult and sometimes unusual situations. Let's go and join our host.
Hi guys, how are you? This is your girl Nicole, and I'm not alone. I'm with my co-host Pinky Nia.
Hey. Hi, Nick. It's weird to actually hear you say Nicole. Like, it never registered.
People think I'm a snake.
Oh, yeah, you should see her. She's actually a snake.
And guys, you know what? Today we are so excited. We've got a guest, and we're going to be talking about a very simple, a very flexible topic that, you probably never really thought of, that it can affect a person's mental well-being or emotional well-being or just generally the relational functions around it.
Okay.
And today, guys, we're going to be talking about black text.
I would like to introduce our guest in the studio. She's beautiful. Those type, the slender, don't tire. She's that. Her name is Lynette. Hi, Lynn. Yeah, I always find names for people. Her name is Lynn. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Pinky. Hi, Nicole. Thank you guys for having me here.
Right.
Yes, we are excited to have you on this platform.
So, ladies, the topic of discussion today is black text. I think in the context that maybe it affects black people more than it does the other races and stuff. I'm not sure, not to discriminate or anything like that. But just a dive into it, Nick. What is black text?
It's just like a nickname that we have given this act that normally happens within our family setups. You know where we come from. You are a child, you're raised in a family, and then you graduate from being taken care of. You start to become this independent person, right?
Yeah.
And then when you become independent now, where you came from, those that raised you, they start to look up to you for monetary support, financial support, whether it's, groceries, whether it's, payment of accounts, payment of debts, everyday needs and wants. They start to look up to you to be the one to give back because we raised you, we took you to school. Now you have to give something back to the family that helps to sustain the family.
Is it
like
not
that.
being a breadwinner? Is there a difference between being black text and being a breadwinner? If I am a breadwinner, I have to look out for the siblings or the parents because I'm the one who's working. Is it not okay to do that?
I believe we've got family units, right?
Yeah.
That's why we've got the close family, and then we've got the extended family.
Yes.
Okay.
My parents' close family, they are my parents, and they've got me and my siblings. If I move out of my parents' house, now whoever I'm going to co-join myself with and start a family with, now they are my nuclear family that I need to focus on. I don't have to necessarily focus on my parents' household now. But when it's black text, it means that it's not only about the nuclear family that you get to focus on now, but you've got these other extended parts of yourself that you need to give back to. So being a breadwinner, I can be a breadwinner providing for my kids and my husband and, and our helpers, right? But now when I'm giving back to my siblings, I have to take my sibling to school. I have to pay my parents' debt. Maybe they are owing someone money somewhere, or they start to borrow some money with the intention that Nicole is going to pay that money. Then I'm no longer being a breadwinner. I'm actually paying back.
You are being texted.
Yeah.
I'm being texted.
Lynn?
What are your thoughts, Lynn?
Okay. Thank you, Nicole. I think it's very important that we have a line that really differentiates between black text and being a breadwinner so that we know where we stand or how to respond to both of these in different circumstances. So, for example, I just want to ask, I'm a sibling, right? And I'm the oldest. Let's say my parents have been taking care of me all along. And then now I'm done with school. I graduated at university and I got a job. So now my parents are not in a capacity to help, or to take care of the immediate family.
The younger siblings.
Yes, the younger siblings, and even probably my mother as well, or
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then here I am. I've got a job, and it's not like very paying. I can manage with what I have. And now that you find that your parent can call, not necessarily call at times, they might not say, but your sibling will say, you know what, my dad is not working, mom also doesn't have the means to help me out.
Things are not okay.
Things
at
are not
home.
okay at home. They really say it in a way that you feel for
Yeah.
sure things are not okay.
Yeah.
And then here you are, you look at your whatever salary that you're earning. And then you see that whatever it is that you'll try to put out, it really won't make much of a difference. Or actually, maybe you don't have that, but you feel that you are compelled to help just because they are your siblings.
Okay, I think being a breadwinner, it's your responsibility.
Okay.
It's not you being emotionally moved to say, because these people have done so much for me, I feel like I owe them, I have to give something back.
That's what we usually feel, yeah.
Black tax, it gets to a point where it starts to suck on your emotions.
Black tax
and your
is taking
well-being.
advantage.
It's
You're being
starting to-
taken advantage of. I feel.
Sometimes it's not necessarily that people are taking advantage. Probably there is a real need,
a
like she
genuine
is saying.
situation.
There's a genuine need for you to help this family. But it's not your responsibility to take care of these people.
Okay.
Right? That's what we are trying to separate. That's the thin line between breadwinner
and
being black
Black
tax.
tax, yes.
okay.
Most people, they respond to black taxing because of emotions. This person took care of me when my mother died. I can't just, focus
Say
on me
I
even if the
cannot
money
help.
is not
You feel like
sustaining
you
me.
owe them.
You feel like you owe these people something. Yet in actual fact, you don't. They were the breadwinners at the time. They were the ones who had the responsibility to take care of you, to provide for you, because you were a child. You were in need.
Yes.
There's no way you're gonna take care of yourself if you're a child.
Yeah.
But when you're an adult, now if it's your child, then that's your responsibility.
Okay.
But if it's not your child, it's not you're not obligated to do that. But because of the emotions and the attachments that we hold with these people, that's where the black tax starts to come in. That's what I'm thinking.
And I feel, I think the people who are around you are the ones who can actually point out that you are being black taxed. I feel if I'm being black taxed, I will not see it as being,
black tax.
yes,
Exactly.
I am helping family. I am doing this for
giving
family.
back.
Yes. You get to a point where I have to pay for my brothers to get a driver's license whilst I don't have a driver's license.
I think the reason why they actually came up with this strange name, black
Black
tax,
tax.
it's because look at other ethnical groups, other cultures generally, I can say.
Okay.
They probably operate in a different way. Which means that if I am a parent, I leave inheritance for my children. If I have a business,
Yes.
I pass over the business. I absorb my child into the business. Come and work with me. I want you to learn how to do this family recipe so that when I die or something happens to me, you carry it over.
Yes, they have something
But
to start.
they've got some way to start. They give their children a starting point.
Yes.
But what happens in our culture? You get to 18. You are already old. Go, Sisi. Go, Buti. Go and take care of yourself. You now have to fend for yourself. You have to show us you are responsible. How? You're taking care of us. You are meeting our needs. But where you are working, like you're saying, it's only sufficient for you.
For yourself, yes.
You've got responsibilities and things to pay out. You don't have extra to share with other people. But black tax, you know what it does. Even if you don't have, now you are borrowing.
Exactly.
The next day you are on the phone, Nico, I need an extra 2,000 rand. What is going on? I'll give you month end. But month end, do you have that 2,000? Or you're thinking you're going to make a plan. Why do you need that 2,000? Mama borrowed money back at home from a friend and she's giving you pressure. But Mama, you're supposed to tell me before you even borrow money.
Exactly.
Ask me, Nico, can I borrow money, my child?
And
Then you can help me pay it month end. But what does Black Tex do? She borrows first,
then
and then
tell
she'll
you.
come to you, and then she'll be like, my daughter, I borrowed money. So what am I going to do? How am I going to pay these people
And
back?
you find that the reason of the borrowing, it was not actually a need. It was a
Yes,
want.
it was a want.
She wanted new clothes. She's going to in back home we say
Or she wanted to
musangano.
sit.
Yes, she wanted to sit at church.
Guys, but I had to say it.
And, or they have those church conference. She wanted to go to a church conference.
Yes.
Exactly. There are things sometimes there are things they can do without. You know, there are instances where we buy groceries for family at home. Ne? But there are extras like, you know, someone doesn't have money, they need new shoes, they need a new
Yes.
clothing item, or they've been eating, you know, guys,
The same meal.
send them that money that you are saying that it's hard for you to get. Ne? You are going to see them posting pictures sitting in an ice cream shop eating
Exactly.
ice cream.
Yes.
For you, it's not important. What is important are the basics at that time, because you are having little and not too much to share with them. But what drives you to do that? Emotions.
Yeah, and I feel that start when, you know, now I'm grown, I start working. I am excited about this journey that I'm
growing
starting.
up.
Yes. Then I want to show appreciation, right? It's my first month. I
wanna
don't
give
have
back.
those
Yeah.
many responsibilities. So I
appreciate
send you 3,000 back home as in like in appreciation, like thank you and all of that. Then it gets to a point where we are now expecting that 3,000 each and every
Every
month.
time.
I am not growing as a person as myself, because
Yes.
now I only have money for rent, food, and it ends there. I don't have money for taking care of myself, the essentials, like me as a person, because I am sending it back home. And the moment that I stop sending it back home,
Becomes an issue.
So you see, communication is important.
It's very important. Maybe just to add on what Pinky was saying, I think that's a very important point to say. You are helping out of your capacity. But what I think would make sense is if I develop myself first and be in a position to help you better without feeling that I'm being drained, that would actually do. So if we could find a demarcation to say, okay, fine, I will help you, but with this little that I have to be okay with giving you a little, but not deprive myself of trying to develop myself. Or maybe I want to add a certificate, you know, and some certain qualifications that puts me better in a position to say I'll get more, maybe more salary, and then now I'm able to help you with ease compared to when I give you everything and then I'm just in one place personally.
The reason why most people called it black text, it was because of that emotion that is just lingering there. To say that, you know, I have to do this, but I don't have the capacity to do it. And
Yes.
it's a pressure that is being put
it was
on me
not
by
on your
people.
budget.
Exactly.
It's never on your budget, but then it emotionally burdens you. It's because it's the constant calls, it's the constant messages. Like, oh, so now we did this to you, Mara. Now because you have
We took you to
small money, nyana, you don't see us, you don't remember us. Remember when you were like they keep bringing your past or how they did things for you.
Yes.
Like, you see this woman that you're not taking care of when you did not have school fees. She's the one who paid for your school fees. We are talking about a neighbor that now has to be my responsibility
Yes.
because back then she did something.
That's why I said communication is a very important thing, Pinky. The moment you send these people 3,000 at home, they already think that Pinky already has a
Has the
3,000
lot,
sitting
yes.
around that's waiting for us to have it.
And it's no longer that 3,000, it's 3,000 and more.
You see? So when you communicate with people to say, I'm giving you this 3,000 right now, it's a form of appreciation. But it's not something that I'm going to give you every
All
month.
the time.
Don't expect it all the time. I will give you when I can as a person. Then you are doing yourself justice. You're helping yourself out of that emotion of guilt
Yeah.
and that emotion of being overburdened by
Like,
a responsibility that you
when
can't.
you say I do not have, you mean you do not have. So I think it's like you said, the communication from the very onset, that very moment when you are excited about the money,
Yes.
you communicate. Because I feel
so
we
that
do not,
there's no expectation.
because I feel you do not communicate it as well. Because when now you think you're earning and you think you can afford, then next thing you actually realize living is expensive. Being alive is very expensive.
Let's go to you, Lynn.
Yes.
You were talking about, these are your siblings. This is your core family,
Yes.
the foundation of your life, your sense of belonging. They want you to give something back,
Yes.
and you don't have. What makes a person to end up going to the point where they are emotionally hurting, or they are depressed, they are stressed out, they are bent out because they are working so hard to give back? What drives people to that point where they can't just, say, guys, I don't have the money? What is
Yeah.
it?
My thoughts are, it can be the love that you have for your siblings, and you want to also
True.
see them be
Okay.
better
Thrive,
people in
yeah.
life.
Okay.
So you feel compelled
True.
to help them because you love them. Like we were talking to say, you get emotionally attached. Then so emotions take over instead of logic.
Your upbringing, you grew up in a tight space, you were all struggling together. So now that you're earning, you don't want them to go through what you went through.
Exactly.
So you go over and above.
So are you saying you wanna be like a savior?
It definitely
To
feels
some
like
extent,
that. Yeah.
yes.
Emotionally, it feels like that. And there are people who actually do not see a problem with that. Like they don't
But is
mind
there
not
a problem?
having.
You're trying to help your family to move out of something that's gonna, set them free and give them freedom from that bondage of not having. So is it a problem?
There is a problem to a certain point. I think I talked about a driver's license.
Yes.
Right. So you see that you are wearing basic clothes whilst they are wearing foshini.
Because
Yet
they've
you're
got
the one
accounts to pay.
sponsoring them.
I like where this is going.
So instead of giving them that much access to yourself, rather let's focus a bit on you. Like we give, you become that breadwinner, but then you don't overdo it. My brother wants a driver's license. I cannot override myself and give him the money for a driver's license whilst I do not have it myself, or I want to further my studies. Rather, because I think it gets to a
Chip
point.
in to help.
Yes, chip in to
Yes.
help.
Here and there.
Do not,
But
When
don't
you
make it
can.
an obligation
do
for
not
yourself.
a provider. And it gets to a point where now these people are actually not even working. They're not looking for work. Why would I look for work when I'm waiting for Shini? For who?
And
For what?
let me tell you something, Lynn.
Yes.
When your sibling comes to ask you for money to go to school, did she say that you should give her the money, or she's confiding in you as a sister because she's overwhelmed and she's emotional about the obstacle that is right in front of her? Did she say, give me the money? Or she's confiding in you, but when now your logic and your own conscience or your own emotions, they tell you that this person is asking me money.
Okay, I understand where you're getting at, and I think that's also important to note, because mostly when they ask is, they are telling you about something that's there. They are not
Exactly.
saying, give
Do
me.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Give me.
So it's you and your thoughts who thinks.
Because the
know?
parents are not working. You are the one who's working, and she wants to go to varsity.
Yes.
So 1 + 1.
You see what I'm getting?
They're
So-
literally not asking. They're actually telling you in a way.
So now when you
never
see your
asking.
sibling, you view your sibling from a point of resentment because you are emotionally frustrated because you have to
Yes.
provide for them. But
Yes.
probably when she came or he came to you, they just wanted to confide in a sister. Look,
in
things
good
are
faith.
difficult, are difficult at home. Say something that's going to give me courage to go on in these difficult times. But what do you want to do? When you want to be the superhero, you want to be...
I think also It comes also with the previous
Morals.
experiences
Okay.
with that very same person who's confiding in you.
Okay.
Are they telling me just because they want to be comforted? Or are they telling me because they know that after they tell me, definitely I will do something, and they don't want to put themselves in a position where they personally ask? You get what I'm saying?
So you have to think for a person to say, give me the help.
Okay.
I think when they come to you at first, they're confiding in you.
Okay.
But you are the one who teaches people what behavior to maintain in your relational level. Like we were saying about communication. To say, I gave you 3,000 now, right? When I gave you 3,000, I already gave you the impression that I've got money. I can help you in whatever instance and circumstance.
Yes.
But they don't know, probably you saved or you didn't have other responsibilities. You had
then,
excess
yeah.
in hand that you could offer help with, right? So when this person confides in you, yes, we are all moral beings, right?
Yes.
We want to do things out of a good heart. So you are not going to always chip in and dive in and be the one to save the day. Sit down with the person and say, okay, I hear what you are talking about. I understand the emotional distress that you are in because of the situation at this point. I will see what I can do.
Yes.
By that, you are not building, a fantasy mention for
Or
this
making a
person,
promise.
making a promise that you don't know whether you're going to be able to fulfill or not.
Or not. Okay. In my case, because I have a little sister, all right. Because like what we were saying, the parents are not working, right?
Yes.
So I don't think it's a matter of coming to confide in you. I have finished school. The next step is varsity, right? So even if I do not come to you, you see me sitting. Your question is, what are you thinking? What are your plans? Then I tell you, I need varsity, but then there's no money, right? Because there is no money, really,
Yes.
right? So in my case, it was like, okay, so what do you want to do? I want to do this, this, this. I'm like, I don't think I'll be able to afford this, 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 this. Find something else. Do the inquiries, the varsities and whatever. Then I'll tell you what I'll be able to afford and what I cannot afford. So instead of saying, okay, I want to be a doctor. Okay, you want to be a doctor, but you're not
You
in
can
a
start somewhere.
Yeah.
If you can get a job, go and get a job.
Exactly.
Work for 2 years. Take yourself to school. Save up something. Take yourself to school, and then from there you come with something. I can help you. I can add on to
Right.
that.
Yes.
But what do our people do? You give them a finger. They want the
the
whole
whole
arm.
arm. Or we give them access to that. Because if I come, knick-knack, and I want to do law. Then when I like, oh yes, law is very nice, you're very passionate about, I'll see what I'll do. You're not saying no to
You're
me.
building.
Yes.
Yes, you're not saying no. Now when I like, you take it as your responsibility. Like now I have to fulfill this person's dream. Yet you could have simply said, law is very good.
But now you can't sleep at night.
Exactly. Exactly.
So what are you doing? You're doing an injustice to yourself. That's when you find that, people start to make sacrifices. And then I give you the money. Then the next thing I'm in debt. And then the next thing I'm drinking pills. And you hear I'm gone the next day. You don't know why. So there has to be a balance in as much as we want to give and be there for our families.
And me as the person who's asking, I might not even know you are struggling because you do not say no to me.
Yes.
You do not put up that boundary that financially this is my boundary. I cannot go over this. You just say, okay, I'll see what I'll do about it. Then you end up resenting me and then I don't even know about it because you're not communicating to me about it.
Guys, you remember I talked about the mom borrowing money from a friend.
Yes.
You teach people how they address you, how they interact with you in relationships.
Yes.
Even our families, they are not too broken that they can't learn certain things. Even your parents, they know when money is not there, it's not there. But at the same time, you are also trying to preserve the relationship with truth
Yes.
rather than basing
With
your
lies.
relationship with lies. That's why it gets hard to maintain the fort. And you are starting to feel overwhelmed and drained. It's because
Yeah.
you are giving them this picture, but the reality is this one.
Exactly.
And you don't have.
That's one thing I also wanted to say that you just mentioned, to say the way maybe we present ourselves to them make them assume that she's got
can.
everything. So, okay, for example, let's say you were in Zimbabwe and then you came here in South Africa, and already in their minds, when you're in South Africa, you've got
You've got
money.
it together.
So it may be one day you just went out with your friends, you were dressed nice, you were eating
You
good
use
food,
filters.
and you want to put it on your status, and they say, "Oh, so this is what
She's
she's
living
doing.
a
She's
sleek
got money."
life.
Exactly. So if we are able, like you were saying, to tell the truth, to say, "I don't have much, okay, but with whatever I can, I'll help you," and also with our lifestyles, may we be true. Someone can portray a flashy life, yet that's not what's on the ground. So
Exactly.
that creates perceptions from people to say she's got the money, she just doesn't want to give us.
And sometimes no one really says they've got money. Everyone
Yeah.
is always saying, things are very hard, things are hectic. I've never heard anyone who says, guys, I've got it together. I'm good right
yes,
now.
yes.
I've never heard a person who says that. That's why I was asking you, Lynn, when we were talking about this issue of the black tax. I was
Yes.
asking you that, is it your emotion or logic that is driving you to this decision?
That's
I think
definitely
sometimes we have
emotion.
to build the necessary mental strength
Yes.
for us to be able to confront our relationships with the people that are immediate to us. If they love you enough as a sister,
Yes.
as a child, they will understand your situation as you bring it out to them. But if their motives are in the wrong place, then they are going to keep overwhelming you at the expense of your own well-being at the end of the day.
Even your future
so
too.
you also have to build the mental strength to say,
No.
to draw lines where
Yes.
No.
necessary.
And
Yeah.
To
be
say, I don't
okay with
have,
saying no.
and be okay with it. Don't have sleepless nights because you were not able
I
to
like-
to help with fees,
And
money.
you say
don't
no,
have,
yeah.
you don't have.
You say no, we're not gonna talk for 2 weeks or so. But you come back.
Delay
You
does not
come
mean
back.
denial,
Yeah.
guys. Ne?
Yes.
If your sister fails to go to school this year, it doesn't mean things are going to remain the same.
Yes.
Probably something is going to come up in the future.
Yes.
That's the hope that we all look forward to, right?
Communication.
So, when you talk about things, you help each other to understand that, okay, right now it's a setback. Let's sit with it for a while. Whilst we keep it at the back of our minds that this is your need
We
to go
figure
to
out.
school.
Yes.
We figure out a way forward. Don't break your arm, your leg, your everything, and at the expense of one term. You do that. You borrow money. You're in debt. How are you gonna pay it back?
I wanted to ask, does it ever get to that? When parents bring that up, you, a child that I carried for 9 months.
Exactly.
Do you know what I went through? I suffered.
Let them speak when they are talking to you at that point, right? Let them express their frustration. They will express their frustration. Look for a good time. Communication is always essential when you pick the right time to communicate a need to a person.
Yes.
They are overwhelmed. They are emotional because of the circumstance they are in. You don't want to counter that by telling them, but I don't have the money there and then. You don't want to do that. Wait for a right time. Pick an appropriate time when they are ready to listen and be less defensive. And say, but you know what, Mom? You know what, Dad? I feel like this situation, the fact that you borrowed money from someone, you really put me in a tight spot.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the money to give you back. Now I have to go and borrow. And then when I've borrowed, once you start borrowing, that patterns
that
goes
never goes away.
in chain.
No, guys, I feel like we can go on for years and hours talking about this. It feels like a never-ending topic.
Yeah.
But I need to bring us back home, and
Okay.
I need your closing remarks.
You know what? Okay, from me, this is like a misconception that our society has already placed upon us, and it's going to be very difficult to dissolve. The realities of life speak a different language. I think we just have to learn to develop that relationship that allows us to be honest enough about our circumstances and situations. It's the honesty that's going to give us more healing than strategy.
Yeah.
True. Lynn?
Well, I think we can start with us ourselves to say, educate yourself. Like we were saying, learn to say no and be okay with it.
Yeah.
And also, as you communicate with your parents or your siblings, you put them like in your shoes, and try to make them
feel for
understand
them. Yeah.
exactly. So I think another thing that will help us is let it not only be like our immediate family and our parents, but also with our circles and our friends. I know it cannot be like an instant change. It takes time, but eventually I'm sure we'll get there.
And I think generally, if you have a situation where you're struggling with a circumstance or a situation like that, it's very important to confide in other people. I always say this, having conversations with people, it helps you to gain new narrative towards your
Yes.
situation. You wouldn't have known that you are emotionally burdening yourself if you had not talked to someone.
That's true.
Right? So sometimes people will help you to see. It doesn't mean they have to decide for you.
No.
They will show you the nuggets. But don't you think your
You
family
will,
can
yeah.
alter things in so
Yeah.
many ways? Or you can do or say 1, 2, 3. And they kind of like help you to open up your eyes to the rationale, not only the emotions that you're feeling in that moment. That will be all for me.
And you guys, like, I know it's happening out there. Like, talk to us. Let's hear from you. Like, interact with us. Share your experiences and your stories. And I just want to say, like, as much as we want to help our family, I feel it is best to help in a, what's that saying? Teach a man how to fish.
Don't give him the
Don't
fish.
give him the fish.
Yes.
As much as we want to help the family, what other projects can we engage on so that you don't keep on being dependent on me? So that
Empower people.
Yes.
So
Don't
that we
only
grow
send
as
the 3,000.
let's
develop
grow
their
as a
independence
family.
syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if I am sending you money, then let's find ideas like how do we then manage this money or make this money grow so that we have more money, so that we
Sustenance
grow
for
together
tomorrow.
as a family.
Yes.
Guys, feedback on our email, nicole@realoutloud.co.za. If you have a story to share, if you have a topic that you feel we should talk about or engage more on, if you want to be a guest on the show, if you know someone who's suffering from something and you feel like we can talk about it or we can reach out and help a person. Thank you so much, guys. Spread love, be kind. Check out the rest of our episodes on YouTube, Apple, and Google Podcast, or anywhere you get your podcasts. There, you'll find more topics that you or a friend will definitely be interested in. Thank you for listening.